Pastor ANWINLI, you had mentioned that your dad was abusive towards your mom and you had bitterness towards him until God touched you and you were able to reconcile that. Now, did that affect you in your decision to get married? Having seen your mother that you loved being maltreated by a man. And what words of advice would you have for singles who are getting so scared because of all the trouble they have seen in marriages around them?
Thank you very much, Pastor T. That's a very wonderful question. All right. I watched my dad beat my mom severally. There was a time she had a black eye, taken to the hospital, saw her wanting to give birth to a male child. My dad needed a male child, but she couldn't. She ended up giving birth to 5 girls through cesarean operation, through CS, yeah. So it got to a point that I was like, I was never going to get married. I never wanted to get married. I hated men with so much passion. So when I got into school, I remember having a friend. Every time we talk, she would talk about how her parents are celebrating their marriage anniversary. I couldn't relate because where I was coming from, there was no Annie. How much more anniversary? So I decided to follow her to her house one of those days. I saw the way her dad was treating her mom. He would come, say, "Have you eaten?" I'm like, eh? This kind of thing exists, I was like, wow. So what that did for me was to create a different picture, because the picture you see differently purges the wrong pictures you have seen. So I began to follow people on social media that celebrated their marriage. I didn't want to know what was going on in the house, but I just wanted to see pictures. I needed to begin to watch other people who were doing very well in marriage. So the more I saw, the more the things I had seen was purged out. Then through that period of my life, God gave me my favorite scripture till date, which is 2 Corinthians 10 from verse 3 to 5. It talks about pulling down strongholds and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. So because I had seen those pictures, I would speak to myself. I would say, "ANWINLI, you will marry right. ANWINLI, you will do well. ANWINLI, your husband will be faithful." So I started speaking to myself. I'll write down words from scriptures. I'll write it on stick notes. I'll stick it on the wall. I was speaking to myself. So the more I was speaking, I was building faith. So I received my healing, but I came to the point where I wasn't scared of marriage. When I got to that point where I was not scared of marriage, I knew at that point in time that I was now ready for marriage. So I didn't choose a partner until I felt faith concerning marriage. So was I scared? Yes, but I walked on my fear before I walked on my choice.
Thank you.